Okay. We got to one part. Okay, it's good now. Yay, I can finally finish. It's time to finish. Ace Attorney Trilogy. Wow, already with a low beat thing. Why? Why? Whatever. You mean Maya? She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Fey to the witness stand. Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Fey to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Wright, I got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. And who made you the ruler of how I do things? Don't know why it's so low of a... why my frames are so low. That's odd. That's enough. This court is now in recess. Hello! Welcome! Welcome, welcome. You didn't miss much. We literally just started. If you remember last time, am I here? Yes. I missed everything I saw. You didn't miss anything. Like, literally nothing. I literally just spoke... Well, this is after, Maya fainted after being revealed that she was the one who channeled, what's-her-face? Dahlia. So, she's recuperating, and Godot has now wanted to put her on the stand. So we're just taking a recess for Maya to recover, and then she's gonna be put on the witness stand. So yeah. Fun times. I'm sorry for the low frame rate. I don't know why. It is so low in frame rate. Hopefully it'll go back up, because it just started with low frame rate for no reason. It's not even that graphic intensive of a game, and the YouTube's like, ha ha ha, no. February 10th, 2:56 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. I'm truly sorry about everything. Sister or Maya business. So this is Iris. This is the actual Iris. Yeah, this is Iris, the sister. The one who was locked up in Dahlia's place in the cavern. So, yeah. You were working so hard to defend me. You don't move much during this game. It's barely noticeable since you don't move much during this game. Well, that makes sense. It's just, hopefully it works itself out, yeah. Do you know how a computer works? Yes, I do know how a computer works. Thank you very much. I do. I don't know why the frames are so low for no reason. I don't even have that many stuff open to begin with. Video to maintain some speed buffering. But yeah, what's new? It always happens with Ace Attorney in particular. Ba-dum-bum, ba-da-dum-bum, 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 ba-da-bum. Alright. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. That's fine.
I wanted to goodness. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though, I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
If you had tried to get help at the Sacred Cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. He's not wrong.
My sister, I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dolly had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong, she never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes, I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that. Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up...
That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. You're blaming yourself for the fact that Valerie and Terry Falls died. I don't think that's it's your fault. Your sister's just crazy. Is this a funeral or a trial? It's kind of both. It's definitely both.
But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people? You must mean...
Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando.
Armando, goodness.
After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you.
Yes, what is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, at least in Easton, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone.
There's a problem. Come to the Inner Temple right away.
I got on the snowmobile and headed for the Inner Temple, but...
Fire.
The path to the Inner Temple was cut off.
The path to the Inner Temple was cut off, right?
Exactly.
I love that her cell reception works up here. Can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say, got it? I still can't believe they slingshot this poor woman.
It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much.
Confession go burr. Yeah. Pretty much.
The staff that held Mystic Elise always held.
I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Shichido. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
Okay, but, like, I once had a cell phone reception in the middle of a country. Huh. I don't know. I just was... Because they have a phone booth, I thought they didn't have cell phones. So I don't think it's impossible. I just would assume at a temple you wouldn't be just having a cell phone since they have, like, the phone right there. That's just me. I see. Victim staff had sword hidden inside the actual murder weapon used to murder the victim. Defendant?
Yes?
The judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne.
All right. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. I think this whole case is the reason why Wright doesn't have any relationships. Contempt of court. What do you mean contempt of court? So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning.
Phoenix.
Mia. How is Maya doing?
Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case.
I see. You don't mean she learned who Elise Denisenin really was?
Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. Told her everything I knew.
But why?
Maya's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it.
What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure it out. I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial's about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet?
Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think that just maybe I know who it is. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. Where's everyone else? Pearl was being taken care of by Sister Bikini. I think Larry is probably sitting in, like, the lobby where because this is the defendant area, and you have prosecuting area over there. So I'm assuming they're just watching from the lobby. Larry is. Pretty much everyone's watching from the lobby if they're not related to the case. Or in the jury. Audience, I guess. Excuse me. Where's everyone else? But yeah, if you mean everyone else in the sense of the stream, who knows?
And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Sakura Temple's side by a pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the inner temple side for almost an entire day.
Exactly, so the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day.
That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win, or lose.
Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me all by myself. Great. Alright, time for the last little bit of the case. Alright, last half of the trial. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, February 10th, 3:36 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 7. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Test? Yes, test, on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that! I totally forgot about it. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on the stagger was not the victim's blood. Okay, so it's not Misty Phase. So it's gotta be something. So it either is... We got two. We got Maya's blood. We got Iris's blood. And then we have someone else's. If, like, at the quote-unquote third party, I guess. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. And whose was it? Found stuck in pine tree in Inner Temple Garden, the blood doesn't match the victim's. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking, so let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well, bring in the last witness. Hi, Maya. I'm glad you're doing okay. Witness, please tell us your name and occupation. Profession. Excuse me. I'm used to name and occupation.
Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the current channeling technique.
I'm frightened. The Fey clan. I don't want any more to do with it.
Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline caused must be unbearable. Yeah, you don't say. She's been accused of murder. Three or four separate times? Just gonna have one in the future that I know happens. Because I guess the freaking developers really just like putting Maya in situations like this. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Nim's murder. Is this correct?
I didn't see any...
Straighten up this instant, young lady.
Huh?
Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later.
But
Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bum 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 ba-dum bum. At the Inner Temple.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I screamed, I think I screamed, "Help me." Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you, was it Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Huh. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. Really? Really, Godot? Seems as it'll be a little hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. Oh, boy. We get to do the randomness again. Whoop, whoop. Alright, I was passing through the garden on the way to the spare prep room when it happened. Alright, let me just save. Goodness, there's a spare prep room? Where's that? Who else was on the inner temple side that night?
Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well.
On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said?
Well, let me think.
She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired.
No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training.
Suddenly someone struck me over the head.
Who did it?
Who did it? Who hit you?
Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind.
You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was?
Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do? I feel like, let's leave her alone right now if I can't think of anything else. Considering the conditions at the crime scene, it's not surprising she didn't see her attacker. Huh. So it looks like even you've got some compassion. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Easton, Dahlia Hawthorne. Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? Just in case if I need to go back. Okay, so she get hit on the head and then she ends up at the stone lantern. Okay, what happens afterwards?
My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think.
You think?
After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time.
Well, no. This is beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind?
My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was.
That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? What did you do then? Worms splashed over you like water? You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits.
Believe me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. Really? Goodness.
I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope.
Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do? Do I press her for more details? My last hope. Just curious. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No. That's what you said. You said my last hope.
Huh? What? I said what?
Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me.
Yeah.
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, you know, that's like... What do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's the person I was screaming to for help. Ah!
What is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind that attacker was another person?
I am... Well, I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done?
Oh, it takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
Ton of pressure.
You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. Oh, welcome back. Oh my gosh, too many things. Maya just revealed that Maya said that she was attacked. Oh, Iris confirmed that she helped move the body and also did stab at least Denise and him to cover up the scene of the crime. No, Maya did not kill her mother. But she was the night of the crime, she was getting ready to do her training, and she was struck over the head. She stumbled into the stone lantern, and then she screamed, "Help me!" And she said that she screamed, I pressed her for more information about her last hope, and she said that she saw someone behind her attacker, and that's who she was shouting "help me" at. So that's the only thing really that has happened. A man? Who was this man?
Well, you see, I couldn't see.
What couldn't? You couldn't see? She used this excuse twice now.
Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright.
Lantern light? Did you say?
There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say, under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer.
Okay, Baya. I'm just gonna listen to you and be like, okay. I'm on some crazy delay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, my frames have not... well, they've kind of increased, but the frames are still dropping almost to 60%. And I don't know why. I don't get it. Maybe if I love when I can't find out. I don't know why in particular it is doing this, but who knows. Let's do this, see if that does anything. I'm gonna go to Task Manager real quick. Anything crazy in here? And that might help slightly. Bum 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 bum. Holy moly. Sorry. I had to blow my nose. Or I had to sneeze, excuse me. Ugh. Yeah, don't know why it is like this. I don't know why. It's running at reasonable capacity. Don't know why it's so low. And it's causing crazy delay. For no reason. I don't know why. What the fuck? What? Huh? Okay, we're just gonna put that there, and I'm not gonna look at that, because that's just strange. Okay.
Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time.
Then something warm splashed over me. What do you mean? Like, are you saying because you were stabbed? That's the main question I have. You don't mean, was it?
I don't know. I didn't know it at the time, but I think it was probably blood.
Is she saying that when Miss Denisenim, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer? Trevor's shooting moments, let's go. Well, it's like, I don't have... Get rid of that. It'll go away. Like I said, I don't know why it's doing what it's doing, because there's no reason for it. All it says is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, such as videos were experienced buffering. And I don't get it. So, who knows? I don't know. It's been like this for 30 minutes. Almost 32 minutes. Was stabbed in the back by the killer?
At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me.
That's when I lost consciousness. I've worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell that when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. Well, I just find it weird that if she said blood was everywhere, why is there no blood near the area in front of the statue? Or more specifically, the stone lantern. Oh, look out, I got 1 minute delay. Wow. Like, I reloaded, YouTube, and it didn't adjust. I don't know why it's delayed so bad. It's kind of just annoying me. Well, YouTube, be giving me how the colors mean. It's not helpful. I'll just time my reactions 1 minute from here. Oh my gosh. No way. Goodness. I wish it wasn't like this. I wish it wasn't. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's so annoying like this right now. That should do the trick. Anyway, I don't know, like, was not let at the night of the crime. Oh. By the light of... Okay, so it is the stone lantern, it's just for a different reason. Okay. So there was a man standing behind your attacker?
Yeah.
That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Denisenim, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother.
The killer.
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
Huh? What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime... Good morning. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry for the slight lag. Because, OBS and YouTube are being a pain. On the night of the crime, the stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
Order in the court. Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of coffee ole.
Coffee away? Is that even illegal? Is that even legal?
Mr. Tright's words are the milk and you are the spoon. Your Honor.
I'm a spoon. I'm no spoony bard. I'll have you know.
You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
But this lighting is not a little mistake. It's a big mistake. Because you go from, oh, she can't see anything to she can see everything. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it.
What did you say?
If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick? May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet... appear on my screen, oh my gosh. I don't know. Hello! Hello. Welcome to Lag Central. Because for some reason, YouTube hates me guts. Why? The witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. Oh. In other words, that would have to mean that Mai actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! I think her brain is just having a hard time understanding what is going on. Order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Wright, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There's no other light source at the scene.
There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Huh. You talk a good game, Trite, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see?
Oh, I have a pretty good idea of what she saw.
I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Goodness. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. When this will appear at street. It's just funny. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer and an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness? Well, it's a man that she knows. So I think it's Godot. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. Killer was her dad, huh? This is... but it can't be.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was a nice bit of deduction. Right.
Yep. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. What is with prosecutors being murderers in this world? They're not that common. But apparently in the Ace Attorney world, they're that common. Order, order, order. Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? I'm not late, I've been here for a while. Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
Huh. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya?
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man, for a totally different reason.
Did I break my stream again? Wow. What? Witness, Mr. Wright. Didn't he?
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chattering?
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Alright. Just saw the scene of the lights out. Wow. Listen, stream started, just took a minute to show up. What the frick? That can't be true. It hasn't even been 50 minutes. Alright. Well then, let's continue with this testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but...
The killer.
When I came to, I was just lying there on the training floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been cleaned up, too. Since the person did all of that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
That's such a weird thing to assume. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man?
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize, it's as Mr. Godot said. You're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. But then the question then becomes, you were assuming it's a man, but if Wright wasn't over there, he was the only man that was, besides Larry, who was there. Yeah, moderator chat says she's 5 minutes behind. What do you mean? I can see my chat just fine. Oh, boy. Bottom, 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 bottom. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Bottom, 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 bottom. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Finally, the bars went up! Holy moly! Holy moly, finally full bars! Thank you! Oh my gosh! Full bars! Wow! The killer. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see green bars. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, but we can do an insane amount of mission before she realizes it. Boredom. Fixed! Yes! Alright. Madam, so you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed.
So then the person that carried you into the inner temple could only have been the killer.
That's what I think too.
So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. Guarding the place had totally changed. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
Why do you want Godot to be the killer so bad? Looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. It's the opposite. What, you think that you guys would be able to put something in chat and I wouldn't be able to see it? It's down, it took only 13 seconds. We need to... Yeah, I told you, the bars went right back up. I have full bars, so everything's like that. I don't like Godot, that's why. Yeah, I can see... I've seen everything live, and because my frames went back up, I can see everything. Extra minute of stream lag check. Oh, boy. But, yeah. I can see everything now because the bars are actually at the correct range they're supposed to be, which is all the way up, so the lag goes down. Bum, 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 bum. The torches were lit.
Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed.
And by bars, I thought you mentioned something in the game. Oh, no. How do I guess I can show... Let me just get a screenshot and I can show how this works. Let me fix that. Oh, this is the least stream delay I've seen on yours. Wow. I got it, don't worry. That the bars of her new... I don't even rap. It's fine. I was just gonna show, because this is what I mean by bars. I could just show it real quick. I would not be a good rapper. What are you on about? Let me just get a... Screenshots. Boop. Notorious R.E.N. This is what I mean. So, dropped frames. This is I don't even know what could be seen, goodness. So this right here is the bars. This is how much time. This is how I see everything. But yeah, this is what I mean by bars. Yay! Yeah, no more delay. But yeah, this is what I mean. Just to give that reference. This is how I see everything. That's why I know what time it is and everything, because I keep an eye on the frames. I didn't kick you out of the stream. Why would I do that? But yeah, that's how that works. Just for an interesting thing of how other streamers use OBS, that's what you look at. So yeah, because I have full bars, it means the delay is less. No, I did not. That's how I know it's the scene it changed. Okay. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? Which if ever did you do something? It worked it out itself. I got rid of some... I did not. I did not. I closed some programs that I wasn't using that my computer had running manually that I didn't need. But I think it fixes itself majority of the time. I guess it just hits like certain waves of internet waves that are low, and then it just picks back up. Usually is what happens. The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. So yeah, most of the time it fixes itself. Need to polish the antennae, I guess. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true, it's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Aya. Very well, let's hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. All the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern. But switching to Twitch... don't really know how Twitch works. I have a Twitch account, I just don't plan on switching to Twitch because... the simplest explanation is I know how YouTube works better than I know what Twitch works. Two, I don't want to have to worry about streaming, taking those videos, and then moving them to YouTube. If that makes sense. Because anyone who streams on Twitch, that wants the same thing. I don't think Twitch is bad, I think it's just preference. Like, I can't wait for YouTube in the future to hopefully have animated emotes. That would be so cool. And let the best 500 grow the following. That too. And like I said, I have more experience with YouTube, and YouTube is more accessible as well. And there's less streamers on YouTube. There's streamers, but not as many streamers. And you deal with less issues than some things on Twitch. I guess if that makes sense, but yeah. I think if people enjoy being on Twitch and that's what they want to do, good for them. Just, it's not what I'd like to do. That's all. There are a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use. Movie BGC video. Well, that wouldn't make... Well, if it was Pokemon, it would make sense. But yeah. Also, just discoverability is easier on YouTube. It may aim for mainly streaming. Yeah, that is true. Because it's only in recent years that YouTube has moved to a streaming-related avenue. So it's still new. So things like movable animated emotes isn't a thing yet. But they do have emotes for people when they have membership and stuff. So it's getting there. What is that? What the frick is... Was that? Huh. Weird. I found you during 1013 or something if I'm around Muslim. Huh. Yeah. Just happens that way. We're looking for people playing Hollow Knight. Yeah. See, it just is easier to find people on YouTube than trying to go through all of these... Because you have to go... Most people, I'd say majority of people around the world, use YouTube for videos and finding things. So you can find streams and other different things. Like as you said, you found something related to Pokemon, which got you to my Pokemon stream. You were looking at Hollow Knight, and my Hollow Knight stream popped up. It just works out that way. And also using the hashtags that puts it into certain intervals. So yeah. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered.
Well, I'm thankful too. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there is something that's been bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. There was no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. Well, that, or he could literally just, grab the snow around the area, like the excess snow that's all over the place, and just pack it on top. Looks like there were some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them.
Since the person did all that at work alone, I just assumed it was a man. So, you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
Yes.
But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker.
Nick, I'm sorry.
Killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by the pendulum and manipulating the crime scene, but for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. By the way, the tub that changed, the torches of the body. I think it's this one. Is it those? White amber.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake.
She doesn't have any Cyclops, it's not popping up, and Cyclops don't appear during court sessions of the game. That is always something that has never happened. This game, aka one of my favorite games. Well, that's cool. I'm glad. I'm glad that you enjoy Ace Attorney. There's tons of games to enjoy in this series. Tons. New stuff, too. I'm happy that Edgeworth got onto the Switch, which gives me hope that we will get to Edgeworth on Steam. Both Edgeworth on Steam. That would be great. Might take a little longer, but it's possible. And I'm excited for when that day happens. Edgeworth on the computer would be so freaking great. You play on Xbox? I wouldn't be surprised at being on Xbox, because these 3 games that we played of Ace Attorney are the oldest games, because it's the first and second and the third. A full Edgeworth game. Well, Edgeworth has 2 games. He has the first one, where else is it? It's on the DS. It's recently been added to the Switch. And included with the Switch version is the second Ace Attorney Investigations. Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth Investigations is the second game that never left Japan before. So, yeah, it's on the Switch. Because it was during the Nintendo showcase thing that happened a little while ago. I'm not surprised. I'm assuming it will go on the Xbox as well. Because if it's going to go on the Switch, it's probably going to be able to be available to other systems in the future. But yeah, so the second Edgeworth game that never left Japan is finally available for everyone else in the world. In English and other languages, finally! I didn't even know there was another Edgeworth game, so that was exciting. What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the Inner Temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. Yeah, yeah, that's what I have. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Yeah, it's these 3 games. That's what I'm playing right now. Attorney collection of Nick and Miles games. Call it the Divorce Collection. Wow. I thought you wanted them to be married. Okay. Someone has switched around. But yeah, that's the first 3 games. And the trilogy is the first 3. I think Apollo would be the next one in order. Yeah, it would be Apollo Justice, and then the other one that I can't remember. They have issues they need to resolve. Oh boy. I can't remember the one right now. What game are you on? I'm on Trials and Tribulations, the 3rd one. The last one in the trilogy of the first games. So this is the last one in this series. Obviously, I have, in this particular games, I have the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles all downloaded and set when we finish this. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
It was for my sake the killer cleaned up the evidence of what happened. Alright, let's see if we can figure that out. Is there anything in particular? Found the garden in particular. Let me just press those, see if there's anything. Nick, by the most recent game, are on the 3rd worst sticking each other. Wow. Well then, they did it for your sake.
Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Kuran killed by own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? I think it was for my sake the killer cleaned up evidence of what happened. Who died? Elise Denizdenim, or aka Misty Faye, also known as Maya and Mia's mother, that they haven't seen for 17 years? Yeah, 17 years. They haven't seen their mother in 17 years, and the first time she gets to hear about her mother again, she's already dead. And it happened before her very eyes. So yeah. Point is, the Faye family has a lot of issues. Oh yeah, not including that her aunt, her mother's sister, tried to get Maya... Well, pretty much ordered an assassin to try to kill Maya. And also, in another occurrence, tried to blame Maya for another murder. It's great. Everything. As you can tell, the Faye family has lots of issues. I don't really know what would be anything. Nope. I was like... I was like, don't know, it might be this one, I don't know. Tortures will invite... First Mia died, then Misty, then almost Maya. Yep. Yep. As you can tell, Faye family has an actual curse. Like, it's an actual thing. Like, you would think... anything like it would be... the whole person. Well, let me hear about the more conditions. So yeah, lots of things happen in the Faye family where you're like, frick. Why? I'm still on Mia's death. Yeah. But she's not gone for long. That's all I can really say. In other words, but heavy snow, that's reasonable. But why this? There was no need to remove that amount. I think that explains them. As a person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble, moving the body, blah blah blah. But for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Alright, let me just click other things. Alright. I think 2. Okay. By the time I got back, the guard in the place had totally changed. Alright. Okay, this was the thing you did. I think it was for my sake the killer cleaned up the evidence of what happened. She's not gone for long. What is she? Resurrected? I can't tell you. You'll figure it out if you're playing it for yourself. You'll find out. You will find out. You will find out all on your own. Because, if anything, these games are meant to be Ace Attorney. Yep. No, Professor Layton. Ha ha ha, you're so funny. I didn't know Professor Layton had this detailed of an art style. I don't think they even... Ow. Alright, blah blah. Almost done. Okay, so I'm literally doing... Oh! Well, thank you. I know I am. I figured it out. I'm sorry, I had to look at the... I guess it wasn't clicking in my head. It was like, oh, they cleaned it up for her sake. But then Maya's name is just left in blood and didn't clean it up. The body of Elise Denise Nim was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple Courtyard. Well, Matthew's not that uncommon of a name. Eventually, you gotta play the crossover game? Yeah, eventually. The body of Elise Denise Nim was carried all the way in the courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd.
Oh, and what would that be?
You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? You're right. Maybe they couldn't see it. Order. But, Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Did not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior?
Yes, I do, actually.
Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave that bloody writing on the lantern?
I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? The killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Was Maya's name written in blood? Yes. Well, hello, Godot. What a coincidence. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought.
Yep, 2 times. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
But that doesn't make any sense. The torches are all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
You're right. There is no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who is this person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? Badooski! Badoo! Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything.
You can't see everything. Is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern? There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood.
Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle.
Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on white background, can you? Specifically on white. That's very specific, interestingly. Because Maggie's apron was also a white apron with ketchup on it. So he couldn't see that, which is 2 instances of him not being able to see blood. Well, not blood, just the color red on white background. Good job, game. You kept that consistent. That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Trebian.
This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. He sees the white as red, so he doesn't know it's red on red, although the blood is a darker shade. It's a real thing for people with color blindness. Red can look black and whites can look brown. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it's color blindness. So it makes sense enough, like all of this game's logic. Well, yeah. Although the blood is a darker shade. Well, it depends on how much blood is there, and also we have to take in consideration that he was poisoned by Dahlia, so we have no idea what his eyes can see at all. He might not be able to see most colors. Because he was poisoned, and we saw what happened to him. His hair went from a brown to a white, and his eyes were damaged. So anything is possible. Who knows, he might just see in black and white. It has color blindness too, he can't tell the difference between blue and green. Yeah, it's a thing typically in male humans, is color blindness. More likely than women. Maybe shines bright red too, so I don't think he sees most things. Yeah. Because he said he can't see very well even with the visor, so I'm guessing it's just how bad the poison affected his eyes. He only sees a few colors? Because this might be what the world he sees as. Because I've met someone who only sees, like, few colors? It's very interesting. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
See better without the visor? Who knows? We have no idea. Well, light might hurt his eyes. Like I said, I don't know what the poison did to his eyes.
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain.
You see the coffee on the white... You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup, because it was red.
Huh. Strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them?
Huh. So he is correct. In black and white, he can see it. Interesting. Interesting. So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern?
Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea.
You only drink coffee. What do you mean? I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Hello! Only red on a white, I guess. See the red tea. This is... Well, it's in my title, but it's Ace Attorney. It's Ace Attorney. He had 13 cups once. Yes, and we're all surprised he's still alive. Never seen it? It's a visual novel, but it takes it... But you are a lawyer that looks at, like, murder cases. Ace Attorney Trilogy. There you go. As Godot said in the chat, it is a ride. That is an understatement of the century. I have a whole playlist of this, so yeah. Yeah, you know who Phoenix Wright is. Yeah, this is Phoenix Wright. Yep. Phoenix Wright is from Ace Attorney. But yeah, this is him. But I've never heard of the game. Yeah, Phoenix Wright is the main character for Ace Attorney. Sips coffee, goodness. This opera took place in a legal setting. Yeah, that's accurate. Very accurate. That's cool. But yeah, like I said, I have a whole playlist, so if you're interested to see how Phoenix got a start, I have played the first 3 games because it's a trilogy pack that they put on Steam that I bought. So yeah, roof of coffee. What? So is it a game or a book? It's a game. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Denise Dim, also known as Miss Misty Fey. It's hard to believe this may be true, however. Once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieted fact about you.
Huh. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there.
Wow. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red.
This is rich. Do go on, Trite.
The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer remove all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Ah, could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Which is also red on a white background. Wow, it really is just red on a white background. He cannot see. Interesting.
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark?
But he did an outline of the entire freaking thing. It was like, oh, it's an outline. Boop, 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 boop. But why would the killer write something he can't see? Yeah, it's a game. Yeah, it is a game. It is a game, but there is like a manga that you can read of the series. Bum, bum, bum. Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Probably an accomplice. Wow. Trying to add another accomplice into this? We already have one. Do we need another and another and another and another and another?
Can you explain that?
Can you explain this, Mr. Godot?
Wait just a minute.
Maya? What is it, witness?
Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place.
How do you know that? So where does this fit in for the lore? Is Ren also where? No, I'm just playing a game I enjoy. This episode conspired just to make Maya god. Wow. And yeah, there's also an anime series.
He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Maya. You can't testify to something like that.
Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I'm... Eek!
After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
True! That's what I mean. Dahlia was the one existing at the moment. She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow.
Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago.
Yeah, 2 seasons. There's also Phoenix Wright musical. There's a lot of things for Phoenix Wright. There's so much freaking Ace Attorney stuff. It'll make your head spin. Freaking, there's so many games that Phoenix Wright's not even the main character in some of them. Just depends. What point in the timeline you're looking at? Oh my gosh. We're not getting into that part of the internet. What's the best thing to start with? So like I said, Ace Attorney Trilogy. Seen, oh my gosh. I'm not banning. My gosh. The best? Well, I can just show it real quick before we continue. Because I got the Trilogy. Let me just new game this. Is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is the first game. This is the second game. And then this is the third game. Then you have, if I remember correctly, I think it's Apollo Justice is after these 3. Then another game that I can't remember the name of right now. Then no. Would it? No, it'd have to be that one. And then you have Spirit of Justice. And somewhere in this thing, I don't know if it's after this third game, that there's a crossover with Professor Layton. I don't remember where that one goes in the timeline. What happened to the blanket? I just don't have it today. I just didn't put the asset on today. That's not what I normally have. Just take a day off. Also, Edgar spin-offs. Yeah, those, I don't know where I don't know where Edgeworth's spin-offs take place. Can't be up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't I think it's probably after the third game, too. Attorney Trilogy. Yeah, you're playing the first 3 games.
After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Maya, do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If this means we're going to hear the whole truth, I'd say we should not silence her.
Huh. Nicely done, Wright.
Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the Inner Temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearlie was there at the Inner Temple, too.
Are you gonna blame Pearlie? Is this what's happening? After the incident.
Pearlie was also stuck on the Inner Temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the square prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up.
Yeah, it's kind of like Henry Stickmin. The games were put in a trilogy and got updated graphics and things. So yeah. Is this the reference game it's from? Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Henry Stickmin thing? Yes. The reference in Henry Stickmin is Ace Attorney. And all that, yes. Cut her first. Oh my gosh. Who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Fay.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office.
Terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on. Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be.
Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath.
Huh. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
Mr. Godot?
Let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright? My gosh. Let's get this cross-examination started. Great. Gosh. I just am like, huh? Alright then. So where did you think Pearl slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess.
The next Minecraft stream, well, like I said, I'm gonna be taking a break next week, pretty much. If I'd have to double check what this, where would it be? That is a good question. It would be around, because we just did that, so then that goes there, then this, then this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the bed. Oh my gosh. I'm coming back. What do you mean? Cause tomorrow is Saturday, so we have bum. And then we're gonna start with Pokemon Star Rail, knock knock. Well, Pokemon Star Rail, knock knock. So the 24th? No, I'm not graduating. The second parents are holding the plan together. That's why she's using them for game. Oh, makes sense now. Wow. My gosh, what do you mean? I'm not graduating. I'm taking a break. Let me live. Oh my gosh. Hello, welcome. I'm allowed to take a break once in a while. Goodness. A week break will not kill me. Or you guys. What is with you guys in the graduation? I'm not graduating. I'm not going anywhere. Goodness. You're not allowed. Ha 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 ha. Well, I won't be near my computer, so I can't do anything. What's a wiretap? I've never heard that one. A wiretap is a thing that people hook on devices to spy on people.
There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training.
Not reading that. But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place? It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya.
She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense.
To the grind, to the contest. Sure, hanging on Nickelback? It sounds familiar, but I have no idea. You're currently doing my vacation, my gosh. I'll get you one day. Haha. I am smarter than that, thank you very much. Welcome time for more Ace Attorney content from me. Well, thank you. Pearl was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there. Oh my gosh. Possessing the body of Elise Denise in him. I do find it interesting that... Does that mean Misty Faye is a lot shorter than I think she is? Because I understand that people can grow. Does that mean they go... Because I don't think Dahlia is as tall as Misty, so did she shrink? Next morning she looked around but couldn't find anyone. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end.
Well, you see, Pearly gets pretty scared when she's alone. And there weren't that many places to look. She said even went back and forth several times.
Yeah, that's interesting that they can, like, shrink and grow. Like, doesn't the... I can't even imagine their body just must hurt like crazy. From, like, their body stretching and, like, contorting. But there's dreams to clip it, and that just is something I want to do. Oh, boy. Bum, 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 bum. And it didn't happen. Oh, boy. Oh boy. Nope. Not treating it. The inner temple side had two structures, the training hall and a spare prep room.
And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it.
There was a storage shack, too. Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully?
Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in that storage shack. Next day, the bridge was finally fixed. She was in the spare prep room. It sounded instant enough, so she reads it before she realizes. Wow. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge?
What do you mean?
I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, well, Pearly said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Poor little girl. All alone like that. Goodness.
Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the cavern.
It's Mia tall. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's what process. But I think it's just because the clothes only grow with the person. So, you know. Pearl... Wow, that was loud. Sorry. I think Pearl's only 9? Is she 9? Yeah, she's 9. And then, Mia's a grown adult. Because if her younger sister's 19... She's in her 20s or something. Yeah, when she started up thinking straight. Wow.
Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock.
She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. Could be shorter. Yeah.
What happened after the bridge was finally fixed?
Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godot?
That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question?
Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness. Pokemon, that's easy. She hates the Nuzlocke if it always wears you down. My gosh. That your model only has a pink on one of the model? Yes. Because I could move it to the other ones, I just would have to do that. Pokemon isn't the next one. It's actually more... Why am I blind to what I need to see? Next is Zenless Zone 0. The mice, my gosh. Clip on pink ear, also the horn. So are the horns also clipped on? Nope. Those stay. Those are attached. Thank you very much. No, it's just a die. I need to keep the streamer humble. I've always been humble. I think the chat should be humble. Goodness. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. What you're saying, Mr. Wright? Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godot? She's not a cookie.
But she is, oh my gosh. Hot nights and even hotter coffee, that's what I always say.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about... There's no cookie here. Chat thinks they're funny.
It's worse than I wanted it to.
Wow. Gosh. No, my horns are staying on my head, thank you very much. They're not going anywhere. No, she is not a cookie.
If I hadn't been for this case, I would have never visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains. I think I'll pass.
So we had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh?
Huh. You want to say something, Troy?
In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor.
Playing is eating. What?
Well, I cross-examine Maya, that is. Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policemen came over to the Inner Temple side, right?
Yes, then Mr. Godot?
He found Pearls first and cheered her right up. He cheered her up?
That's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Huh. Cut it out. You're making me blush.
This guy really is beginning to get on my nerves. In more ways than one.
The truth is there aren't that many places to look on the Inner Temple. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I've decided to carry out an investigation my own way, Godot style.
Oh boy. No. Moonshine is not a donut. But the drawings I've made are not food. You guys think so. If you keep doing it, they won't appear on stream anymore. You love the judge, goodness. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. I didn't name them a donut. Can I make them into food? That's your own choice if you want to make a decoration like a cake or a cookie or actual cookie or something, that's different. They are not food. We've mentioned this. I have a whole short about how she is not food. My goodness. Alright. Maybe I should ask some questions. Phoenix style. Godot's investigation. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything?
Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Goodness. No, it is the cookie that you made would then be a cookie, not Small Ren being a cookie. If you spam in the chat, you will be timed out. Just telling you. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
I'm not a killjoy, I'm just telling you. How long? I'm not telling you how long. I am not telling. Beauty.
Misty Fae, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Western taste? Could he find a stranger way to describe gravy? So from there, you headed for the prep room? Wait a sec, what did Godot say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? My gosh. He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Deniston. Early, blah, blah, blah. My gosh. Oh. We have a whole history. We're not dealing with this right now. My gosh. Like I said, don't try to get timed out. I'm not telling you how. Gosh. Nope, I won't take it. That's not that bad. Oh. What the frick? Matthew, are you okay? Are you okay, Matthew? I didn't divorce the Pharaoh. You guys are just being weird. You guys are being really weird today. Disney skip lunch. My gosh. That's what Curly said. Blah blah blah. Bum 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 bum. Why would she? Oh my gosh. So, I hit Godot's investigation. Does that change anything? My gosh. Chat. Ugh. Hit them with the hammer. My gosh. Western, so what did he say? I think I found there's only one important thing here. So I know what it is. So close to my god. Oh, my eye hurts. That was a bit too far. You figured it out? You figured that out? Alright, let's do the other one. I don't know if that will do anything for me. Alright. Chat ruined the final moments of this game. Don't worry. Just let the minute. She can't stop all of it. Oh, you sure about that? I'm the one who has the power, thank you very much. So you cheered Pearls up?
When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked was about her cousin, Maya Faye.
Oh boy. What the? Bum 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 bum. Bum bottom bottom bum. Bum bottom bum bum bum. Really?
The bridge had burned down and she was huddled in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have been truly terrified, had a truly terrifying night out there. She asked about you before she said a thing about herself.
Pearly?
I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side, but I couldn't find it in me to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup.
Gave her coffee?
With milk and sugar to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth.
What a sweet story. He had a thermos of coffee. Why doesn't that surprise me? There's only one thing, blah blah blah. So what am... Oh, Boy, I love dealing with this, and I love that the bars went all the way down. This will be a funny way. My gosh. Everything is driving me nuts. Why do YouTube have to give me trouble? Bum 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 bum. Alright, because I do not understand. I would be able to is that she means and that's why she has the company. Like, gosh. Wait. On the first statement. What? Okay, so I am correct. 1, 2, 3. Oh. You're the only normal way. Wow. So I can... Okay. Okay, so it's because of that. Alright, that makes sense. Mr. Godot. The first time he crossed Dusty Bridge and went into the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place.
Why do you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Godot was right. The scroll shows a picture of my mother.
Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? Did no one clean it? The most... I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna say, you're saying chat's no... The bar's underground, but still... Okay, I said the line about eyes because I wanted something she would react to confirm something about how the chat works, so my gosh. The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? Why gravy, Nick?
Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye.
Wait a minute, Nick.
Yes?
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there.
Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess that it's a picture of Misty Faye on there. Oh my gosh. True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Is it his evidence? Yeah, I guess so, but you would think a traditional scroll. I guess they'll clean it after the murder is concluded, because goodness. Computers are inherently consistent, but sometimes I swear just randomly deletes messages. Well, that's just YouTube. YouTube does it all on its own. I don't know why, it just does.
Oh.
Yes, it's possible that he knew that what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place. I don't really like cheesecake. I've tried it before. It's kind of... I don't know how to describe it. Too sweet for me? Or something? Oh my gosh. It was to avoid something like bowling around, but it really does a poor job of that. Like I said, I don't know.
Can I ask you just one thing, Tripe?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours. It all rests on a certain assumption.
I just don't. I like, pumpkin pie.
That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed.
That's right. Otherwise, there was no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Well, hey, if you like cheesecake, good for you. Because there's tons of options. It's just not something I like. It's a cake, ain't it? You don't like a cake, does that count? No, that's different. That's a different way of cheesecake. Of course Mr. Godot knew about the plan.
Huh?
Yeah, I just don't like it. Sample 2 of different kinds. Huh. Well, that's cool. Because I always know they have samples and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just not something that I have. And also, my family doesn't really like super sweet things like that. She's putting 2 cake slices would be a cheesecake. Yeah. Related streaming as a VTuber whose character is an alien. Yeah. What did you say? So it's just a different type of cheesecake, I guess. Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan? Alright, this crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. Goodness. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. No, she has normal eyes. Wow.
And you still insist this crafty killer is me?
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Oh, during a visit. Well, here's the thing. I do actually like food. It's just cheesecake is something I don't like. I like candy, I like chocolate, I like ice cream, I like custard, I like frozen yogurt, I like pizza, I like spaghetti, I like tacos, I like lots of different foods. Wake you up as your body just being ready for the day for no other reason. Yeah, but coffee just nope. During a visit.
A visit? A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. One of my favorite... Yeah, custard is delicious. Delicious. Favorite food, like... Technically it would be pizza, like... Pizza that I make at home, homemade. Like cheesecake, or do you not like cheesecake? I do not like cheesecake, no space. Cheese, I don't mind. It just depends on the cheese, really. Of these effects, that's why I don't drink it much, but you'll eat coffee beans? That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center. Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Yeah, it's definitely possible. All I can say, anything's possible. There are lots of people that food is a texture thing. Just not blue cheese. Well, yeah, I would hope not. Not like you really avoid it. It just isn't your first choice. Yeah. Yeah, it's just not my first choice. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. I don't even want to imagine blue cheesecake. Ugh. Order, order, order. Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. Class beans will give you that bit of... Oh, wow. Okay. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Boom, 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 boom.
Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean?
Means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all that just to protect this witness?
That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress.
Killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
I have no idea what that means. Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason... Is what I think it is. Yes, it is. Oh, boy.
Okay, Trite, I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. And that is Mia. There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Mia... Fey.
You once worked alongside her. That's when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
Yep.
The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. Should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Killed. And died. Excuse me. Died. Mia Fey's first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. Shit. Yeah, everyone loves that one. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
Psst. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Flaws died.
Mia, you can't cry yet.
Ow.
The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
Right, read this over. Wow. Those are fighting words for the fandom. Wow. I think Diego and Mia is a good ship. I think Edgeworth and Phoenix
is a good couple. They both can coexist. I don't know about Felix. Diego Felix one. It doesn't have to be basic. Just because they're together doesn't mean it's not something. But that's just my opinion. Well, that just, well, obviously, if they are two men, it would obviously be a gay relationship, but that's just how it is. Like I said, they're both allowed to exist. With a coffee cup of debt again. Yeah. Like I said, ships are something that people can enjoy. Diego and Mia being a couple is just the fact that he cared a lot about her. So, goodness, my brain. So, Phoenix and Edgeworth caring about each other a lot, it's kind of in the same line. You could think of it that way. Just depends on what you want to see for these characters. My gosh. Why do you need to have... just drink coffee responsibly, my goodness.
I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients, that pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident.
It's better upcoming OTP. Maybe, I don't know.
Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It's been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
I just remembered. 6 years ago, right in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even if I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
I can't believe you still drink coffee after that. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports were ever called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep.
Yes, he is addicted to coffee, but I just can't imagine almost dying because you drank coffee, because someone poisoned it, and being comfortable with being able to drink it as often as he does. No milk, no sugar. But I guess because he makes it himself, it's less of an issue, because he knows where it is.
That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
That's terrible.
Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I had drank that poison brew.
Maybe that's why he just missed coffee that much.
Then one morning my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had.
Oh, that's just sad.
The woman I loved had been murdered.
My God. I can't even imagine that.
And the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh, good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me until I woke up.
Gosh, that's so sad.
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? Well, revenge. I'm guessing revenge.
The first was you, Wright.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey would have never have died, much less the way she did.
Wow.
You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that. You're asking a lot of Phoenix to be able to predict the future, man. Oh, that's a thing that just exists if people... Well, it's a thing that exists if someone clicks it. Like, it's a reaction thing. I don't have it there, but I guess some people might have it for themselves. So sometimes it would pop up because that's one of the stickers from that. But yes, he is very petty.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor? But yeah, you have it turned off, then you don't see it. It's only the people who don't turn off, if they turn the setting on or off. I have it turned off. Because it's in the way and it cuts off some of the frickin' chat.
My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Maya Fey. Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia.
Yes, welcome back. You spammed, so you got timed out.
1 year ago, when the Kuran village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fay was planning something. Whatever her vile plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her.
That is a scary emote, I will say. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought that if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she would never have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey.
Hello!
I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
Yeah, there's a lot of regular emotes that YouTube has. Ugh. Literally all I know of is attorney. It's fine, that's everyone knows that.
But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean, officially?
Wow, did Mia not tell her sister about her mother?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government?
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. Saving this... Oh my god. Well, thank you for dropping in. Have a good night. She said that the Master of Kuran had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
Oh my gosh. You're never gonna let that go, are you?
She was always? That's why. I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve was to protect you, look at her staff.
Staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough.
We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. Goodness.
That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fay if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
Well, Misty, you really loved your daughter. Loved your daughters a lot. That's just sad. I wish that Maya could have just talked longer with her mom. It's just sad.
That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean pearls, don't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you gonna do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty had to deal with the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
Hello, Molly.
What? What do you mean?
If she channeled the spirit first, the pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Kuran, Misty's power was supreme, so that's how it went down.
She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fay wouldn't be able to.
Yep.
All this because Morgan Fay is a jerk.
What, is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fay. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be safe from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Did it say gullible on the ceiling? No. I was, how do I explain this? I was drinking water, and I was, gargling, because my throat is dying from doing Godot's voice. So gargling some water in my throat sometimes helps with, my voice. Godot.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to, Wright.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
Background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? Boop, 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 boom. There are only two possible suspects right now. Honey. Well, I don't have honey, and I don't like honey, so... Maya Fay, and I'm sad to say you, Mr. Godot.
Well, Wright, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't.
Maya.
I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me, too.
Maya. I know that.
Nick.
But even so, it doesn't resolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Fay, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
Alright, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Whoa!
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was spattered with blood. She wasn't dead, though. She struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
So you did see Dahlia. These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden.
Things break. Try even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright. Proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. Wow, this frickin' thing was a lot longer than I expected. Time of the murder. Alright, let me save because we went with so much dialogue. And I'm gonna lose my mind. Alright. Light shining in the dark. I don't think you could make a mistake about it. Well, if you see it for a second, then it disappears. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. And I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either.
Goodness. I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but that's harder. Just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember, after all. There was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene properly. Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights? Thought asked for help, and then was spattered with blood. That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
I think so. Probably. Just at that moment, I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice.
So that's when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right? Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation.
Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that?
She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Struck back? How do you know that?
Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of their breathing and movement, and also the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. That's an understatement of the century. Judge? So then what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make it out, their shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Could you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so, but
suddenly the red lights went out. They went out?
Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean? If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight,
maybe the mask was damaged.
Maybe it was knocked off.
Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right, Trite?
Maybe those little red pinhead-looking lights just stopped working. What could have really happened then? Just the moment there was a horrible scream. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? So then the scream that came from the killer? That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me. Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. How many people were in that room? If we're assuming what Maya says is true, there's Maya, who is being attacked by Dahlia Hawthorne in Misty Faye's body, and then you have Godot. So there's 3 people in this garden. Because Maya was in the garden, getting ready for training, and she was ambushed by Dahlia Hawthorne. So yeah. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. Oh. That makes sense after all. My deduction are almost certainly never correct. Remember the testimony she just gave before the killer let out a scream? Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Is that right?
Dance break? Yes, I figured something out. Because I looked at the guide, I was like, wait, I'm confused. And then it was like, oh, that makes sense. She couldn't have struck back with the sword that was already stuck in her body. She's just hitting. She's just slapping him with her hands with the sword lodged in her. Yeah, that makes sense. Just... The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. You figured it out?
If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite.
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here.
Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. What could she have used to strike back at the killer?
A dagger. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree.
Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me.
Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well.
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
But that's not true. We know it's not the victim's. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. Yeah, a lot happened today. Yeah, a lot. So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it is your blood.
Nice theory, Trite.
Bum, 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 bum. Yep, moment of truth. Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Let me just do this for safety's sake. I don't want to go through all the dialogue again. I'm assuming he's not done yet.
Huh. Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that?
What?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found in this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Yes, what does that prove?
Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it.
It can't be.
In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood It doesn't belong to me. Not a chance.
Yeah, wow. What? In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness. Continue your testimony.
Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Maya?
This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But if Mr. Godot had really been cut with this dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Yeah, Maya had big brain time. Why now? Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes. That solved the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder. Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them.
Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them.
Are you gonna tell me that his mask got ripped off? So was he cut again by Dahlia? Just got hit by Dahlia for the second time?
He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Eek. Wow. Order in the court. What the witness says is true. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Ike in English. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. So he's gonna go in negative degree weather and going la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da with no clothes on. What the frick logic is that, Phoenix? That way he wouldn't get any blood on them.
That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to imagine Godot prancing through the snow with no clothes on. He would die. He's already got issues, why would he add on top of that?
Huh. So that's all you got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this.
Well, if you had fire, then Maya would be able to see properly. You're gonna imagine it? My gosh.
That's all you got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this.
Irk.
Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already.
Invisible fire? How does that work? If fire's invisible, then how is it lighting anything up then? If Mia Fey were here.
So come on, Trey, can you do it or not?
How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. Yeah, think like Mia. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. Yeah, that's what Mia did, for sure. I can prove it. Can we? How do we prove it? You have an idea, Phoenix?
Can you let me in on the information, please?
I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition just as you want it.
Huh, that's good. A fighter till the bitter end, Trey. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty?
What the frick? I have one shot. Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need.
Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite.
So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. This was proved by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say?
Hidden?
This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there was no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound.
It's the end of the line, the final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got.
Why the butt?
Where's this location where you say the wound hid? Where's this location where you say the killer hid his wound?
Yeah, it's under the mask, but how do you prove it? How do you prove? What? How do I prove? Oh, just present it? Okay. I just have to present his profile. Okay, I was gonna be like, do I just present his profile?
Huh. I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you've never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite?
That was Mia.
What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him?
Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's underneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you had a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Yeah, Mia taught him well. Ow.
Arg.
Do we get to see what he looks like without the mask on? I'm very curious.
Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago.
You sound like Freddy. Arg. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do a deep voice. That would be a blood scene. Yeah, but I would really like to know, because he's Armando. He's Diego Armando. So I'd be very curious.
You helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison.
He did not know! You're acting like he planned this. He didn't know!
And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die.
He is so petty.
But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. Even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought.
Mr. Godot?
But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive
Is yourself, isn't it?
was me.
You? Yourself?
I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head-on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask, threw away my true name. Couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit.
But you saved Maya.
Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason?
No? Why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me.
You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya.
Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not sure.
What do you mean by that?
That night in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette. Part of me must have known the truth.
What could he have done to save her? It was just an awful bet, but I doubt things would have played out differently. Yeah, we don't know. I don't know. I also think the reason why, sadly, Misty Faye died was because the trauma of this horrible, horrible woman that poisoned and killed tons of people. Imagine seeing that person right in front of you, caused you so much pain, so much strife, and you took that opportunity.
The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It's like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else?
Could be both. How about this? Point is, Morgan Faye and Dahlia Hawthorne are horrible people that should not have psychic powers, should not have any power, and should not be around anybody else but themselves to be mean to each other.
Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people.
Well, I think in your own way, Diego, you did pick up some of the pieces of Mia. I had not realized it, but I think you did. You should defeat him on the basketball court. Maybe.
In that one moment, I understood everything.
Mr. Godot.
I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Thanks.
Your wound, it's bleeding.
Huh, did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears.
Tears?
Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando?
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
Diego Armando is a very special individual. Very interesting individual. this time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant? Yeah, he did well.
Yes, Your Honor?
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Oh, one last bit? Great. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what?
For the case 5 years ago, of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. Yep, the truth comes out.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister, you only met twice.
Huh? Yeah, your actual girlfriend. Yeah, meet your actual girlfriend, right? We only met twice?
The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed.
No way. It's just, it can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... Yes, Edward, now, oh my gosh.
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia.
I hope one day you can forgive me. Feeny.
Ha! Yeah, I knew that already because her being the twin, it's like, oh my gosh, that explains everything. To come back to, You mean?
That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months.
Yeah, what a way to start a relationship, buddy. But why? Why would you do such a thing? Oh, it was Margaret pretending to be your daughter? I hope not.
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could, because of the police investigation and their surveillance. She couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She already had so much to answer for. I don't want any more sins on her soul.
Very, oh my gosh.
I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place?
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I feel that something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer.
And then just did this.
She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
Well, 'cause Dahlia's a nutcase. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime. She would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed.
Noticed what?
My feelings for you.
She knew you wouldn't do it because that Iris wouldn't do it because she liked Phoenix.
I had found out she was planning to kill you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life. Or mine.
Iris. What a confession. Great time to confess. Right now.
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
I have something to say to you, too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. I hope Pearl doesn't end up like her two nutcase of sisters. Yeah, hope not. At least, I really hope. That liked Phoenix might be going to prison. That's sad. Yeah! It is sad, isn't it?
Thank you.
It really is. That's why I said, Phoenix being in a relationship, this is what happened when he was in a relationship. Him getting married is probably the farthest from his mind.
How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though, right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so, Phoenix Wright?
What the frick? Yeah, I think you're right. You and your Edgeworth OTP can go over in the far corner. We're finishing this right now. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim Elise and Easton. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well, on the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Yay! Yay, 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 we're finally done. Court is now adjourned. Woohoo! Alright. February 10th, 4:51 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. That range in the mug wasn't filled with coffee, it was actually whiskey. Are you telling me that this whole time, in Japanese, Godot was drinking whiskey? I wonder what what it says about Phoenix is if the only one that liked him is crazy and going to jail. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Apollo Justice next. I don't have Apollo Justice. I have the Great Ace Attorney Trials. That's the thing that's gonna come next. I'm saving up for Apollo Justice. Well, I wish you luck on the Mia case. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended, was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya, goodness, is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. Mia.
I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible.
You mean, with that verdict? Yeah, the justice system is corrupt. Wow. Goodness. Did he really care about Mia? Of course, he cared about Maya and Mia. He literally confessed his feelings in court about Mia. Would agree 100%. My gosh. Yeah, I hate Mia possessive part. It just doesn't fit. Well, I think Maya's at the hospital recovering. Yep.
I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me.
Mia?
You've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia?
I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix.
Bye, Mia. I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick!
Maya?
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Mia? What did she say?
That night when I channeled her to get advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
But
Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick.
Yes, Maya was found innocent. Again. Maya, how? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered.
Youch.
Oh, come on, I have to do Francisca. My voice can barely handle anything right now. Ah! Francisca!
Still softy as always, Phoenix Fight.
You're doing this on purpose, Gabe.
Excellent work, Wright.
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
Yeah, I'm on the home stretch. If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. Where were you, Nick?
In the hospital.
I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day.
Yes, he laid in his bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Wait for you to play the Edgeworth games. Yeah, in the far-off future.
Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too. Francisca?
I don't Okay, we're not getting into the Edgeworth top and bottom. That's a debate on its own. Oh, boy. I don't suppose there's room for me in this group hug, is there?
Oh, Larry.
What's with the, longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once.
That's not true, right, Nick?
What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh yeah! Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Yeah, the drawing. He can actually draw really well for himself. Curriculum. Yes, he does. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
What? Me?
Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy?
Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance.
Do you really mean it? What about you, Francie? Did I draw you well, too? She's gonna kill you, Larry.
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon.
Claire?
Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something.
So then you'll do it, like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book? Francie's... something.
Don't get carried away.
Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl is pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh?
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
I don't know about that one. How old is Larry? Because I know she's 19. How old are you, Larry? 25. I don't think so. That's a little bit... It's not horrible. But it's a little bit of an age gap for me. But it's not the worst age gap we have seen in this frickin' series. I swear to frickin' Betsy. We've had too many of those things. Pearls? Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. I'll be right back.
Psst. Yeah, probably.
Hey, Pearly.
Right. You seem to be
oh my gosh. I can't English. Holy moly.
You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Francisca. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. Okay, so this is confirmation that her father is dead and has passed away. Wow. Manfred von Karma passed away.
I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now is exactly the time?
Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry.
Not passed away, given the death penalty for his crimes. Was it? I don't remember if he was given death penalty. I know he was guilty, but okay. Makes sense. Either way. Makes sense. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ouch. Then tell me, Phoenix Wright. Who is Maya Fey being strong for? Her cousin. Pearl Fey. The poor kid, after all. The reason she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya.
But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable.
And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. Until she can see her smile again.
Oh hey, so this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we've got quite the butt shit today. Youch, what was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just happened to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sort of kinda gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Yeah.
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe? You said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean...
Très bien. Where else?
I knew it. We're doomed.
Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, Crybaby, you're invited too. Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes.
You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's just, I guess. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearlie, can't find her anywhere.
Huh?
Bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. No one has heard from her.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. You came at the perfect time. I guess it was fate.
As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
Yep, cheers to you too.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe,
Yep, what is it, pal?
could you guys go on ahead?
But what about you?
Maya and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick?
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, but you're the... Ah!
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead. Don't be keeping us waiting, right?
A good cookies of a YouTube. I guess that fits. Something in the office scrubbing toy or something. But yeah, bye! We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that Pearls might have gone to. February 10th, Hazakura Temple.
Sakura Temple?
For Pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
What's this? You're all back again so soon?
Sister Bikini?
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here? Pearly is here?
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay. Pearly's not here.
Ah, Maya, the hanging scroll. She fixed it.
Someone cleaned it off.
It's gotta be Pearls.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Pearly! Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Yeah, she cleaned it up. Alright, the temple. Yeah. Because she wanted to make it up.
I swore that I would never trouble the two of you again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother...
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do, to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course I'm sad that my mother is gone, but how do I say this? I'm still happy.
How did she even leave? Isn't the trip to the temple really long? Who knows? Maybe she just ran really fast.
You don't have to lie, just to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me.
Maybe she caught the bus on her own. We don't know.
My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. Even if one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya!
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty.
Sister Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of Kuran, I don't have the right to face my daughter. Still, Maya's always in my thoughts.
So yeah. It makes sense.
It's true, she's always with me until the day I die.
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the master's talisman!
The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important, rather it was the contents.
That's...
Oh, a photo? Mother?
Is it a picture of her and, Mia? It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Aww. Just because they broke it too, oh my gosh. The poor Mystic Ami's frickin' urn has been broken 3 times. 3 times! Even when the battle is over, and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return, time and time again.
Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother, too. Probably more, which is kind of sad. I've learned that from all of them. But that's such a nice picture. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't...
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime.
Brings back possible unanswered about DL6 incident.
Yeah. Probably, because it's about the... There's a lot of things.
I think Ami didn't mind or any of them would be cursed by this point.
Yeah, probably, because it wasn't on purpose. It was an accident.
I just feel bad for Ami. Her ashes. Are there any left in the freaking jar anymore?
Okay. Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training, I promise.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 of you when you come back.
Excuse me, sorry.
Hee. Alright, we're going to have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but I have some theories about that, Arn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, which they might actually be with how much bad luck the tragedy the fake Lynn has gone through.
Yeah.
Maybe. What is it?
What is it, Nick?
Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3?
Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us.
And then it gets sick again. Huh?
I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you.
Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course of naturally.
Huh?
That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right?
Is that a confession, Maya? No, it's not a confession. I think she wants to torture Phoenix.
We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick?
You know, I was wondering if I can just say one little thing.
Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
I'm getting goosebumps, too.
Well then. Yeah, I don't think it's her way of flirting. He says objection.
Woo! I finished it! Oh, I really have to work extra hard now. Master of Current and the office manager of Wright & Co. Law Offices. I have to be good big sister to Pearly and Nick, too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that.
Oh, boy. She even realizes how much ridiculousness she's gone through, poor thing.
So it's true, Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in shining armor. He went through the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the 2 of them by making them a secret reservation.
Don't do that. They might actually die. Pearl. They might actually die.
Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will
Nope, I'm not saying that. Gumshoe. Why are you like... It makes him look 10 times younger.
Mr. Wright, I owe you once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasure of Kurian exhibit was a great success. I got to see Miss Von Karma, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip, and said that I must show you what I've learned.
What the frick? What the frick? Francisca, are you teaching?
Miss Andrews.
Denise and I started a company called Best to Best Consulting.
We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is cut it out, please. Pretty cute, huh?
We also sell plans to crimes and some kind of biz. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals. I guess. She could be confirmed that. I love that they have made things to stop criminals, but then also sign and sell plans to criminals. How does that work?
I wanted to show you my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Dong Taegre. So I lent him $500,000 in a tea set. Special thick tea, one I mixed with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now. Win through compromise. He.
She got introduced, wasn't it? Yeah. It pretty much was that, wouldn't it be? I love at the end that they tell you how everyone's doing.
I'm just an old and in the way. A crinkly, grumpy clown nose of flesh. At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 6 to 9 years old and I cried like a baby with a wet diaper.
Wow. He's a lot younger than I thought he was. So that he never touched it again. Yeah.
As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We have hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Legg. I hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Manda. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly.
He was already working there, though. How's that work?
My. More reporters? Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us, because it provides such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Whoa, ho, 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 ho.
In Asian culture, some of them don't celebrate birthdays until they reach about that age. Huh. I did not know that. Well, good for him.
You've turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, Ben Groman Jude. Thank you for being Phoenix Wright. Thank you. Cian King from Miles Edgeworth, thank you. Christina Conato for Mia Fey, thank you. James C. Wilson for Godot / Diego Armando, thank you. Francisca Von Karma, Janet Husu, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Payne, beautiful. Winston Payne, David Crislip, thank you. You have made the most, one of the more iconic noises from this freaking series.
What's this? I'm back from a long and tiring vacation and no one's here to greet me. I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit and now I got no one. And what kind of lonely, crazy scary room is this supposed to be anyway? With all that flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And now what am I gonna do with all these whatchamanuts and vegetable? I really can't accept these, I'm afraid, or something gonna be fragile. Alright, oh well, I'll never find a gem, I'll find a lady. You forgot she existed? She was mentioned all the time. I can't believe I kept up with that.
I finally found something I love to do. Frenzy's whippity whip trip is gonna turn the art world on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all.
Well, I'm glad you figured it out, Larry. I'm glad you figured out your talent in life. Look at it. And didn't he do a good job? Didn't he do a good job? Yep. That's what Larry drew on his own. Ain't that pretty cool?
Told you he has talent. He is good. A lawyer only cries once it's all over. This confirms they also got the death penalty. Well, that, or he could have just passed away from his wound. We don't know. But yeah, we did it. I finished Ace Attorney Trilogy. The next thing in Ace Attorney is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Zenless Zone Zero. Bye!